What is up, everybody? Maine Fly Guys here with another tutorial. I would be remiss if I did not use some mallard or wood duck flank, of course. And for our dry fly, we are going to make a mayfly Hendrickson style with the flanks here. So what we're going to do is take our wood duck feathers. These are wood duck from a male. They have the golden tint to them. Mallards have just the silver and black, or gray and black. And so what you're going to do is inversely put them back to back, so they make this. And then what I like to do is just peel a little space, and we're just going to catch them over the top gently about 3 times, and then pull the fibers back gently. It's kind of a tug of war match. If it's too tight, you can unwrap one, and then they'll slide right back to right where you want the wings to be. So I want them to be about the length of the hook, which is a size 14. And that's about good there. They will want to spin on you, so just kind of keep torquing them. Okay, so that's what I have. Just a nice little wing there. These are going to be my wings standing up. So what I'm going to do is come in very gently and cut this at an angle. That way it will taper. And then be careful not to let them roll, but start working back. Make sure all your fibers are on top of the hook. If you're not super comfortable with your wraps here, you could always put a drop of super glue, and that would take care of the problem. So then for the tail, I'm going to use the same fibers. I'm going to come in from another feather, and I'm just going to pull in, 4 or 5 fibers for a tail, if I can. There they are. I don't know if you can see that there. All right. So I just try to get them to be as even as possible. And again, I want this tail to be roughly the length of the body. Boom. There's our tail. See that tail? I love these. I love these feathers so much. All right. So this is just the stem of the feather, and this feather comes from the underside of the wing of a duck, even almost on its hip. So I'm going to lock that in. It can be very fragile, so be careful when wrapping. And when going forward, making your body, you want to try to make it as neat as possible and as symmetrical as possible. That way your wraps will look good. These wraps aren't great, so this body probably won't look fantastic, but whatever. No biggie. Alright, and I'm just going to lift my wing back and kind of lock it into place. Alright, so I'm going to begin wrapping, and I will probably speed this up for you guys. Alright, so I've just finished up wrapping, and, it gives this very segmented body, is all it does, and I like it. I think it looks good. So now we need some type of floatant, and instead of using hackle, I'm going to use CDC. And what I'm going to do is tie in my I have 2 here, long feathers at the tip. So I have 2, I'm going to tie them at the tip right behind the wing. Alright, and now I'm going to come in and add a little bit of wax to my thread, because this dubbing style, this little ball of dubbing that we have, can get away from you pretty quickly. So you really don't need to add a lot, because it bulks up pretty quickly. There we go. We'll see where that takes us. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be just fine. right. So now what you can do is I'll come in and kind of clean up any of these longer fibers that got away, even though there's going to be long fibers anyways. So there's our little thorax now. Slide this down just a smidge. So there's our little thorax. Easy, easy. What I'm going to do is, if I could get it, there we go. I'm going to pinch these two fibers and I'm going to spin them a few times, almost turning the feather into its own dubbing loop. There we go. And now I'm going to go through. Be careful not to trap your wings. It'll look messy, but don't worry, we'll get through it. So I'm going to go 2 behind and then try to do 2 out front if I can. If I can't, whatever. Looks like we only, oops. Looks like we might only be able to get 1 out front, which is fine. Alright, so I've trapped my fibers out front. Don't worry, I know this looks very, very messy, but it will be all better. As long as you can see the hook eye, you're in good shape. So I'm just going to cut 1, cut 2, and then just kind of pull the fibers out. Alright, so now you'll see you have just a big fluff ball, which is no good, obviously. So what I like to do is make sure that my feathers, my wings, are upright, which they are. You can still see them there. And I'm going to finish this off. Try and get my head. There we go. That looks good. And I'm going to whip finish. Whoops. Make a nice clear head. Nice clean head. That's obviously not as clean as it can be, but so this fly is a little bit more difficult just because of that step. So now what I'm going to do is pull the fibers out, pull all these CDC fibers out, and I'm just going to begin trimming. I want them to be short, kind of like making a U shape around the wings, right? Kind of making a U shape. So I want all the under ones to be cut. So you can just get rid of those. And any extremely long ones, you can get rid of those. But it's almost like making a second pair of wings. Now this video is going to be hard to tell because you really need to see it from above. I'm going to do that for you in a second. So just keep going, keep trimming. You definitely don't want your body to be blocked by any of the fibers. You want your body to be out there. Okay, so I'm going to keep trimming and then I'm going to show you guys the above view, kind of what the fish will see, sort of. So I'll show you that in 1 second. Alright, so here's kind of what the fish will see. This, you know, you have your body, you have your tail, and then you have your wings, and they kind of look like a spent mayfly almost, either legs or a spent mayfly. It just really has the imitation of a mayfly that is sitting on the water. And so they get the same view. I don't think you'll be able to see it without being blurry, but they get the same view on the underside. So you get this pirouette of wings almost, or legs, and the fish think, oh, that's a spent mayfly. And so they come up and they hit it. And this CDC is very buoyant. It floats very well, and so this pattern floats incredibly well. So there is your duck dry fly. I said I was going to make easy patterns. This one I would consider a little more difficult, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. If you like this pattern but you want to change the body up, because this body I'm not a super fan of, it's very bulky. Polish quills or peacock quills would be your best bet. It makes a much nicer looking fly. But again, do the fish really care? I doubt it. So thanks for watching. That wraps up our duck series. Our next bird, one of the 4 birds of Maine, will be the turkey. And then the final will be the partridge. The partridge. Everyone's favorite. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys next time.